everybody, welcome along. It's the Transfer Show on YouTube. I do loads of these on TikTok, but I wanted to bring my Transfer Show here to YouTube. And yeah, not everybody tunes into TikTok, do they? So here I am. Hope you're all well. Lots to bring to you this evening, lots to talk about. It's been a little while since I've done a YouTube show. So since then, quite a lot's happened, to be fair. And the biggest thing was Russell Martin signing that extra extension to his contract. So Russell Martin signed an extension to his contract, a 3-year deal for him. What were your thoughts on that? Get involved in the comments box below. But Southampton have been fairly busy in the transfer window since Russell was announced to have extended that deal. And one thing that Russell is doing at the moment as well, he's overseeing a lot of the recruitment process at the club as well. So not only is he the manager, he is also overseeing all the transfer recruiting as well. So he's a busy man. Thank you all for joining. Plenty of you in the live this evening. Kian, thank you for coming on, mate. Football Edits, Joshua, am I going to Oxford away? No, I'm not going to Oxford away, mate. But you can see the key dates on the right-hand side of your screen this evening. I've got the pre-season friendlies that are coming up in the next couple of weeks. There is one more after the Lazio game, but they do play a pre-season behind closed doors friendly on Wednesday against Bordeaux, Montpellier over in. I think they're playing that one they're in Spain at the moment. I guess the friendlies will be in Spain. We've then got Oxford away, which I'm not going to. Then it's Millwall away. Then back at home in August against Lazio, and that's a Wednesday night. And then on the Saturday, there's another game. I think it's Getafe on the Saturday as well. So plenty more games. But so I will be at St Mary's for the Lazio game. I won't do the away games. I'm going to save my pennies for later on. Once the Premier League kicks off, I will be at the Newcastle game as well. So very much looking forward to that. So Russell Martin extended that 3-year deal at Southampton, and rightly so. I'm glad that he's been backed. Get in the comments box below your thoughts to Russell extending his stay. He did an exceptionally good job last season, didn't he, really? To turn things around like he did after that back end of the season. The run that we were on was not great before we come into the playoffs, but he managed to get us to the playoffs, and it was cool. It was so cool as the manager. I thought he handled himself really, really well. Only conceded the one goal as well. Maybe that was down to Alex McCarthy being in goal, but the whole side was much more resolute than what it had been. And I think all in all, I have to say, I thought Russell did a really, really good job at the back end of the season. And I think he said to me the other day, I met him at the Puma event, and he did go on to say that the team spirit in amongst the camp is really good. But a lot of that comes down to him as the manager and his staff, and they've got rid of the bad eggs. And they're still busy in the transfer window. They're bringing in the right people. So outgoings so far, Lianco left for 4 million since the last come on a transfer show. Dejan Kaleta club didn't even put it on their website. That's how bothered they were. £5 million they got in for him as well. They're also in talks at the moment about offloading a man that you wouldn't be surprised he's not come out and said they don't want him because it'll lower his value, but they apparently have reduced the asking price for Paul Onuachu. €7 million is reported that they will sell him for. Transport are very, very interested in him. Hopefully he gets his move. Obviously Russell's and the club have played it quite cool, haven't they? Because they kind of said, look, he's got his opportunity, he comes back into training. But they're going to say that. He's not going to say, well, we don't want him because it's going to lower the value of the player. But there's no doubt that Onuachu will go. And the other obviously major outgoing was Shea Adams. He is now at Torino. He was never signing another contract. I think it's a blow that we don't have another striker in just yet. I think that is the one area we are really weak going into this Premier League season. I think that's one thing that they will need to strengthen up really, really quickly. There's not really loads of links with strikers at the moment anyway, but Shea Adams has left Southampton. He never signed his contract extension. He was offered it last summer. It was still on the table in January. He fell out of favour a bit, didn't he, at the first part of the season. Managed to get himself back in favour. Played really well between Christmas and the end of the season. I thought he was brilliant. He did say at the end of the season we got relegated that he would stick with it. He would that the group would stay and get the club back to the Premier League. Well, he did, and he got us back got us back to the Premier League. So he's a man of his word, really and truly, for me. So fair play. He made a massive contribution last season, but I think it's probably time to move on anyway. I think it's time to freshen things up. And look, I have no objection with bringing someone else in new and fresh. And I think that's exactly what we need to do now. I think we need to go and find someone new. I think we need to go and find someone fresh. It's just who that is. The striker market is absolutely flooded. So where do you go to find a striker? Amanda Broya, he's been linked a fair bit over the last year or so. But I don't know about you guys. I thought he looked a little bit lazy when I saw him at the Euros. Get involved in the comments box below. Give me your thoughts. I do like Amanda Broya, and he's somebody that could probably fit into the squad quite well. I think he'd probably suit Russell's football as well, but obviously his attitude would need to be spot on, and we had to get the price right as well. So there's a lot to do, and there's no promise that Southampton are even interested in him. Chris, thank you for joining. Shay going could be a blessing in disguise. This is a really good comment, actually. If we still had him, we'd be less clinical, less inclined to buy a striker. I think you're absolutely right, Chris. It's a very good comment, actually, Chris, my friend. I think you're absolutely spot on. I think it's a blessing in disguise. I don't know about you guys. He offered a lot in terms of hold-up play, but he did miss a lot of big chances. And I think when you're at the top end in the Premier League, teams like Southampton, Forest, Ipswich, these sides that be fighting relegation won't create the chances that a Man United, a Man City will do, a Liverpool will do. So when you do get your chances, you have to be clinical and you have to take your chances. And I think that is really important. And I think you're absolutely spot on there, Chris. Best comment of the evening in the chat. Please do get involved in the chat. I'll pop it all up on the screen as well. It's an interactive show, this one. I want you guys all involved as well. I want your thoughts on the new home kit that's on the screen behind me, and also give me your thoughts on that away kit as well. I quite like this one that has been worn by Jack Stevens. I know everybody's not a massive fan of the sponsor, but I do like the shirts. I think they're really, really nice. Right, Chloe, my camera lady, is in the chat and getting involved. So thank you very much. Hope you're well, Chloe. It was good to see you down at Eastleigh on Friday night. We will talk about Eastleigh as well. SFC Vlogs is in the live. Ethan, thank you for joining. Paul Anuachu, I think he needs time this pre-season. I think we could look at we need to look at him and see if he's up for it. No, I agree. I still think there is something that he could offer. And look, where else do you find a striker? And wherever this boy's gone before, he has scored goals. That's one thing for sure. We've got loads of people joining the live now. Thank you all very much for joining. It's a great opportunity for us to go out and buy a 15-goal season striker to keep us up. It's usually what decides it. No, you're absolutely right. Not letting goals in is really important, but scoring goals is obviously really important. I think we've done a lot of business, obviously, in and around defence, and we'll go over the defenders we've brought in, but you're absolutely spot on there. Saints 194, always really good in the comments when you're in the live. So thank you very much for getting involved. So those pre-season fixtures are on your screen. Which ones are you going to? Let me know if you're going to be at any of those pre-season games. I did see that Kean, I did see that about Smodic to Ipswich. He's a good player, Smodic, but it's another, again, it's a big step to go and play in the Premier League. And talking about a big step, it's a big step for Ross Stewart. Ross Stewart's still not fit, which is a major concern. I was looking, I think it was Just Saints have tweeted today, the squad that's gone on the training camp to Spain, and his name, I don't think, was on it. The goalkeepers that have gone are Alex McCarthy, Joe Lumley, Mateus Liz, and Josh McNamara. Defenders, Carl Walker-Peters, James Bree, Yuki Sigurara, if I pronounced it correctly, Jan Bednarek, Ronnie Edwards, Nathan Wood, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, Nat Boot, which is great to see him involved, young lad from the academy. Charlie Taylor has gone, Ryan Manning, Juan Larios making his return from injury, and Jack Stevens. It's quite a bloated back four, really, back five. However you look at it, I still think we're a little bit heavy there in the defence department. And this is where I find we're a little bit thin. So in the sixth role or midfield role, Flynn Downs, Shay Charles, Will Smallbone. Smallbone can't play the 6. Joseph O'Brien Whitmarsh, he's gone on the training camp. Great to see that. Tyler Dibbling, he was brilliant at Eastleigh on Friday night. Also, Joe Aribo, Carlos Alcaraz is back from his loan at Juventus. He told me that he wants to stay at Southampton. Adam Lallana, he got injured in the warm-up down at Eastleigh. He's gone. I saw he's on the grass today, so his injury can't be that bad. Sam Adozi, Sam Amiao, brilliant down at Eastleigh. Jay Robinson, again, he was good at Eastleigh. Kamaldeen Silamana, he didn't feature at all against Eastleigh. Sekumara, Adam Armstrong and Paul Enuachu have all gone to Spain to the training camp, but Ross Stewart isn't on that list. So I wonder if he is injured. Right, let's get involved in a few more of your messages that are coming in. Keep them coming. Really good to get you guys involved. Would you consider Ivan Toney? Do you think he could put a shift in for us? I think Ivan Toney would be absolutely brilliant. Do I think he'd come to Southampton? No, I don't. I think he'll end up at probably a top 7 or 8 club to me. I think he's a brilliant player, brilliant striker. He proved his weight in goal for England out at the Euros. I think he's brilliant when he come on. He didn't get enough game time in my opinion, but I do really like him. I just don't think that he will come to St Mary's. Brozier knows a club where we would settle in, says Mike. I totally agree with you, Mike. I think he would. Someone said about Shay Charles here as well. Needs a championship loan, maybe Swansea, who play similar football. I think it's an interesting point. I had a good chat with Shay actually the other night. He plays really well at international level, by the way. I think we're really short in the 6. So if we're going to do that, I think we need to have a replacement ready for Flynn Downs if he gets injured. And we know that Flynn will get injured and so much is going to weigh on Flynn Downs' shoulders. I really, really do. Chris, thank you for getting involved in the comments. You've got some really great stuff coming in. Alfie Hobbs was saying earlier, Ross Stewart is fine and in training, but Russell doesn't want him to play game time until he's at least 4 weeks of pre-season in the bank. He's still 2 weeks away. Larios too. Interesting, Chris, on that one. I missed that one from Alfie House. He's absolutely superb. Jaden Magatoma, Kian, interesting one on this one. Yes, let's talk about Jaden Magatoma, because today I read the story that everybody else would have seen, that he views a first team pathway and regular minutes as a priority, and he's in talks over an exit from Southampton amid interest from clubs across Europe. So it looks like Jaden Magatoma could be off. I'd be disappointed to see another young talent leave the football club, in my opinion. I just think for me, I think he's a good player, but young talent walking out the door again, I think agents are in ears. I think it's a bit frustrating, but this man behind me, Charlie Alcaraz, does want to stay. He told me that the other night. He won't go back to Juventus, that's for sure. Does he get an opportunity? He was in the second string at Eastleigh the other night, but does he get an opportunity at Southampton? We'll have to wait and see. Right, I was going to go through everybody that's come in transfer-wise, and hopefully I've covered everybody that's come into the football club. So on the bottom of the screen there, I've got Charlie Taylor coming on a free. I thought that was a really good bit of business. Left back, he will be perfect. I spoke to Burnley fans. They speak really, really highly of him. Ronnie Edwards, really comfortable on the ball. One of the best centre-back in League One last season. Highly, highly thought of. Really good ball-playing centre-back. I think he looks the absolute business when I saw him the other night against lower opposition, but I think he'd be a really, really good signing for us. Nathan Wood, another centre-back, come in. We were linked with him in the January window. Obviously, Russell knows him well from the season. He only had one season with him at Swansea. But Nathan Wood, 3 million, not spent low. So 2 centre-backs in for 6 million. Bearing in mind, we've let Coletta Carr go for 5 million on his own. Adam Lallana's come in on a free. I don't think he'll play loads. And Yuki Sugawara, he's come in for 6 million at right back. And you would think that he's probably been brought in to replace Carl Walker-Peters. That's my gut feeling with him. But we will have to wait and see. But that's our signings inwards. Have I missed anyone? I don't think I have. But that is where we're at this moment in time. And it will be interesting to see how that unravels with Kyle Walker-Peters at right back. But that's our signings in so far. Alcaraz would be a massive asset. I agree. That's from Satan194. He's a great player. Still questions about suiting Martin's style. Refreshing a player. Yeah, I think so as well. He wants to stay. He actually put his... When I said to him, you're going to go back to Italy, Charlie said, no. I said, what are you going to do next season? He said, I want to stay here. And he put his hands together. He wants to stay here. So I totally agree with Chris Bonner as well in the chat. He said all those players are the same price as Dejan Kalatico and Lianco. It's top business. No, I totally agree. I think we've done really, really good business so far. So, like, defence-wise, I think we're probably sorted. But it's now looking how you go up the field now and what we do to make us really potent in attack, because we're going to need to be a lot better in the final third in the Premier League than what we were last time round. We did really struggle to really create chances and score goals. SFC Vlogs, make sure you go give Ethan a follow over on his channel here on YouTube. He's a brilliant YouTuber. We need an experienced striker, says Ethan. Someone who's in the age gap between 25 and 28. He speaks so much sense, this young man. Someone with Premier League experience. Tammy Abraham would be really good. I'll tell you what, a name I've not thought of, but a really, really, really good shout by Ethan. Ethan, I totally and utterly agree. I think you're absolutely spot on with that one. So, yeah, no, I agree with you. Adam Armstrong behind me. He signed that contract extension I think it was Friday. So he signed a new, fresh deal with Southampton. I think it's good that they kept him. Well, he's got to obviously step up now in the Premier League. I think he'd do a lot better this time round, in my opinion. I do think he'd do a lot better. Give me your thoughts in the comments box below about Adam Armstrong signing that contract extension. Right, Bella Kotchap, he's not with the camp in Spain from what I can see. From the list I saw today and the videos I've watched, I don't see Bella Kotchap there. He was at the Puma event though, so whether he's picked up an injury and he stayed behind or they're still trying to get him out of the club, I think we're bloated at the back at the moment with players, and I think it will get thinned out, and I don't think for 1 minute he'll stay as a Southampton player. What are your recommendations for signings, Martin? Well, I think we will sign a winger. I don't think there's any doubt about it. There's one man that seems to be his name circled all week, and it is the Crystal Palace winger, Rasiak. Not seen loads of him. Palace would demand a few quid for him, though. They reckon Southampton are prepared to pay around 9 million now. Yesterday I saw 7 million wouldn't be enough to get him. They're now saying 9 million to get him in the door. I think it's a few quid to spend, but it could potentially be a loan. But will Palace be in and around us? Would they loan him to us? I'm not sure. But I really like the thought of bringing in a pacey winger, somebody that's got a final pass, a final ball. I think Silimana, I don't know what you guys think, but for me, for Kamaldeen, Silimana probably needs to go now. I think his attitude's not been great in his time at the football club. I think Russell's got the best out of everyone, but I don't think he can do anything with this boy. To me, I think he frustrates him, and rightly, and I can absolutely see why he frustrates him as well, because he's got so much ability, but his attitude, I don't know, at times. Lots of talk around goalkeepers. Adam, thank you for joining me this evening, my friend Adam. Great friend of mine. He joins me on TikTok Live. Adam would get on TikTok Live in the next week as well, and we'll talk about all the transfers as well. Dubravka, Ramsdale, even if it's a loan, I think goalkeeping department needs to be strengthened. I still think we need a number one. I've read between the lines the last couple of days, and I've even asked Russell Martin the question myself, will Alex McCarthy be your number one next season? And he said he did brilliant last season. He didn't outright say yes, or he didn't outright say no, but he said they're open to options in the market as well. So I think in all departments, they'd be looking at players, and anything could possibly happen. And I still think Ramsdale would be an absolute golden loan for Southampton. We won't afford to buy him. His wages are not huge, but if we had to pay half of him, you could do a deal 40% of his wages paid by Arsenal. I think you'd be cooking on gas to bring him in, because I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper. And for me, Ethan, I think a goalkeeper, a good goalkeeper, is probably worth 12 to 13 points if you get the right man in, a top quality goalkeeper. And I think that's what we need to do. I think it'd be worth. It could be the difference between staying up and going down. That's my opinion to it anyway. So we will see what happens in the goalkeeping department. I still think we potentially will bring a goalkeeper in. Right, this story has circulated for quite a bit now. Atlanta sent a bid for Matt O'Reilly yesterday. Southampton want Matt O'Reilly. Russell Martin's a massive admirer of his. They offered apparently Atlanta around 17 to 18 million euros, nowhere near what Celtic want for him. It's been rejected. So that one got binned and he won't be going to Atlanta for that fee. So Southampton, other clubs are in the mix for him, but we will need to wait and see for that. But I still think he'd be a very, very good signing for us. I don't know what you guys think. Get in the comments box below. Everybody's been talking about him pretty much all summer. What else do we have? Ryan Fraser. Talk about Ryan Fraser. He's back at Newcastle. He had to report back for training like any player would. It's his club. That's who pays his wages. Obviously, there's got to be a settlement between the player and the club. And there also had to be a transfer fee between Southampton and Newcastle. He's probably already agreed personal terms with Southampton, but the next bit getting over the line is settling those two deals really. And I probably would think one of those is stuck somewhere. Southampton want him. I want him as a fan. I think he's brilliant in the dressing room. I think as a human being, he offered a lot last season. He works hard. Look, will he be a dead starter every week? Maybe not. But in the games when you need to scrap and you need experience, you would need people like Ryan Fraser in the door. And the one thing we didn't have last time around in the Premier League was people that would really scrap. Ethan's saying he doesn't think it's going to happen. In all honesty, he was good but didn't really start. And the games that he did start didn't really do much. Only good off the bench. Not sure in this one. Yeah, he was good off the bench. He was really good on the bench. I just think his experience gives us something that we probably need. What else do we have on here? We have, it's reported it will take 30 million to get Matt O'Reilly from Celtic. Southampton apparently are prepared to break the bank to get him. I read a few days ago. So that'd be interesting to see. Mike, thank you for joining the live. Saints have a good relationship with Celtic over money deal. Yeah, they do. They do have a very, very good relationship with them. So any potential loan deals for a striker, yeah, we don't know. There's no links really, which is concerning. Ross Stewart still a couple of weeks away from being fit. So yeah, look, we keep coming back to this man. He's back involved in the squad at the moment. It's Onuachu. He's been flirting pretty hard with the Turkish club. I totally agree. Nailed on to leave, I would think. Yeah, I do think he would. He will go. I do believe he will go. What other rumours are there? We spoke about Jaden Magatoma. We spoke about the Crystal Palace winger as well, Radzaki. I don't know loads about Radzaki, but apparently he's supposed to be good from the Palace fans that I spoke to. Just isn't a dead starter there at this moment in time. What were your thoughts on Lallana re-signing? Get involved in the comments box below. Since I've done a live here on YouTube, Adam Lallana wasn't back. 36-year-old midfielder, got injured in the warm-up the other night. Not that bad, but I think he brings experience. I'm excited by Charlie Taylor because I think he comes in experienced at 30 years old, played 33 Premier League games last season in the side that got relegated, but I still think that he will fit in well at left back and probably be an upgrade on Ryan Manning. That we didn't talk about the deal that officially signed Taylor Harwood-Bellis as well. He signed that deal to officially make him a Saint. That's a 4-year deal. Man City, though, do have a buyback on that one, though. But I think it's great news that we've got Taylor Harwood-Bellis in. He is a future captain for me of our football club. Jack Stevens, he had an activation of a 1-year extension on his contract, so he's got another year. I still think his centre-back leaves. I don't know what you think, maybe 2. Bella Kotchap will go, you would think. But I still believe, Lallana, I believe it'd be more of a coaching role. I'm with you on that one, Mike. Waghorse was a link as well. Yeah, it could be a link. Would I take him? Yeah, I would. I think we need goals. I think we need somebody We need somebody that's going to score goals. It's great strikers to sign. I think it'd be interesting to see what happens with him. There's a bit more on Lallana. Lallana is on a 1 year deal, sensible, probably in his last year before retirement. Yeah, I agree. We need people like him in the dressing room. It was one of the reasons we were relegated. You are correct. You all speak really well, Saint 194. We didn't have any leaders, did we? That's the one thing we didn't have last time round in the Premier League. We did really, really struggle with leaders. Right, let's talk about a man that come in as a potential replacement for Kyle Walker-Peters. I still believe he'll leave Kyle Walker-Peters this summer, but I really like the look of Yuki Sugawara, who has come in as a right back. He played against Eastleigh, lower league opposition, but he looked really, really calm on the ball the other night. I've seen his videos. I've seen him play a bit. I think he played against Southampton. I think maybe pre-season friendly last year before. I remember putting a real quite a dirty challenge in on Sam Adozie. But I do think he'd be a good player. Looks like he's a good ball playing defender, good with the ball at his feet, likes to get forward, get shots off. And like we saw the other night, the goal he scored was decent the other night, to be fair. Thought he took his goal really, really well. So, excited to see him. I think it's a good bit of business as well. Not spent loads of money on him neither. So that's a good signing for us. Get involved in the comments box below. Give me your thoughts. We've already had some feedback on him already. So good. He's very similar to Trent. I would love to see him in the midfield. I think he's been bought to play at right back, but he'd play an inverted role potentially, depending how we set up. Will we set up with a 5 or a 3 at the back? I still think we'll go with a 5 at the back potentially with the wing backs. That's still my gut feeling, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But no, I think he's going to be really, really good. Right, I think Fraser will get done in the end. Others in early, more important. Can't afford to bide time with Fraser to get the best price. He's essential to us. Can't see anyone else going in for him. No, Chris, I don't see anyone else going in for him as well. I echo what you say, though. I absolutely echo what you say, for sure. Not very good at doing two things at once. My screen went off behind me. Right, what else do we have in the chat? What do you think is an acceptable bid for KWP? So the final year of his contract, isn't he? So it's a tricky one. What's he valued at? Guys, get involved in the comments box. Give me your thoughts on what he is worth. What is KWP worth final year of his contract? I think I heard Southampton were valuing him about 30 million. It'd be 20 to 30 million I think they valued him at. But whether anyone will pay 20 to 30 million for him is another matter. But we'll have to wait and see. We will see. What else do we have in the comments box below? Just going to go through some of your... I saw on Twitter that Diogo Jota on a loan deal. That could be an interesting one, Kian. That would be an interesting one if that could happen. I don't think... I was told, not by anybody close at the club, but just people in and around, fans and stuff. That I think someone told me at the Puma event that they heard a rumour that he bought a house a little bit further north as well, right in and around London. So, look, players have houses everywhere. They probably rent them out, but there was rumours that he bought a house back in London. I think I read it online as well. So, I don't think he's signed, mate. I don't, Luke. I think he's been brilliant, stuck with us when we really, really needed him. And if we can fetch a bit of money, balance the books, then buy a striker, they'll probably do it. I'm glad we've got Downs in. The other Japanese lad, Matazuki, if I pronounce it correctly, signing from Tokyo FC, looks like a player, but apparently after Gitsopi for a work permit. Yeah, because they couldn't get the work permit. I saw that, but he'd be good for the future. So they're looking long term. So Sports Republic are in it for the long term, which is brilliant, isn't it? I think that it's good they're looking ahead to the future. I did see that as well, Kian. Sugawara is living at Maya Yoshida's old house. Brilliant. What a great guy Yoshida is, by the way. Calls him up and says, by the way, you can have my house. Go live in my house. That is absolutely brilliant, I thought. What else do we have here? 20 million is my valuation on KWP, but I can definitely see it being higher. You think that he'd leave last season, but he stuck on the team. Surely he can help keep us up. Well, if he kept him, he would help keep us up. There's no doubt about that. I think he absolutely would. What else do we have? Joshua would like to see maybe a deal which is 10 million plus Walker Peters for Emerson Royale. Tottenham wanted Emerson Royale be a good signing, by the way. Whether that's possible or not, I don't know, but I've not heard any links about that one. But yeah, I think it could potentially work. There was loads of talks about the swap between Downs and Walker Peters. Thank God they did the transaction separately. But getting Downs in was the best bit of summer transfer business by a country mile. I don't know how you guys feel, but getting Flynn Downs in is massive for us. It really, really is important. On the right-hand side of your screen, just need to give it a plug while I'm on here. Charlie, young Charlie, you would have seen him all across social media. He comes on my TikTok channel quite a bit. He's a lovely young lad. He is going to ride his little bike. He's a young lad. He's going to ride 220 miles for the Southampton Foundation charity. He's going to do it in 5 days. He's going to go from Cornwall to St Mary's, and he's going to arrive before kickoff for the first home game against Nottingham Forest on the 24th of August. Please, please, please jump over to Charlie's page on Instagram or TikTok, see the links and support him. Get involved, guys. He is an absolute legend. Fair play to Charlie for doing it. I needed to give that a plug because I promised his dad that I would support him and I will back him on that and share it with as many people as I can because I hope he does really, really well. Make sure you look out for my new show over on YouTube on my page as well. I'm going to be looking through the Premier League survival guide. How do you survive in the Premier League? We're looking at defending. We're looking at statistics in and around defence at the moment and what sort of ratios you need to stay up and just statistics. I've looked at statistics, so get involved in that. What's your favourite Saints chant? A tough one. When the Saints is a bit boring, isn't it? I love the Aribo song at the moment. Let's be honest. The man behind me on the screen, Aribo, that's my favourite Saints chant at this moment in time. Somebody mentioned Højbjerg in the chat a minute ago. Where is it? Someone mentioned, I think he's going overseas though, mate. We will get a sell-on fee. Yeah, we will get a sell-on fee. Yes, we will. Yeah, I did get told that there was a sell-on fee. But yeah, he's off, isn't he? I'm not sure where he's going. Get involved in the comments box below. But yeah, he is leaving Spurs. I thought he nearly went in the January window, but he didn't in the end. Alfie, thanks for joining. There's a few on the bottom of your screen of who we've signed. I've not got the rumours on the bottom of the screen right now. We've gone over it. Radzaki, Crystal Palace has been heavily linked today. Jayden Magatoma going out. Apparently he wants a pathway to play first team football. What else do we have today? We have Paul Onuachu. Southampton have reportedly reduced the asking price to 7 million. The striker's back in training with Southampton now as well. So, look, we will wait and see if he stays. I don't think that he will, though, for love nor money. I just don't see him staying. Højbjerg having a medical at Lyon. All right, going to Lyon. Damari Gray, I think I saw mentioned. Yeah, I did. S4G3. I would buy Damari Gray if available. Matt O'Reilly and a striker. Yeah, Matt O'Reilly. Heavily linked. I still think we could end up with Matt O'Reilly as a Saint. I really do. Striker is important. I still think we need 2. We are really short in striker department. Really, really short. Adam Armstrong can play there, but he didn't really play as a 9 last season. And it's a big step up to go and play back in the Premier League as an out-and-out 9. We do indeed, Mike. I absolutely agree with you. Make sure you follow me on TikTok if you're not already, at FootballMartin _ on TikTok. Daily Saints news on there. And I'm rounding up transfer rumours and news all the time over on my page. So get involved with that as well. Ethan has said a number of Premier League sides remain keen on signing Celtic midfielder Matt O'Reilly. Saints are pushing the hardest at this point in time and are lining up a deal worth close to a record offer. This one won't go away. Thank you very much indeed for that, Ethan. I think this will potentially happen. That is from Just Saint, said Ethan. So very interesting to hear that one. I think what could give us an advantage over Leicester and Ipswich, we have more sellable assets to raise funds. Yeah, we won't get a points deduction like Leicester neither. I still think if we get a goalkeeper and striker and a winger, I think we have a really good chance of staying up. Do you think Mara will be sold? I think he struggled last year. Personally, I think he really struggled. Will he be sold at this moment in time without adequate replacements in the door? Probably not. Would I rather see Tyler Dibbling given a chance over him? Probably. I really like Tyler Dibbling. I know he's young. I know he's raw. But every time I watch him, I think he's just a cut above Mara for me. I think he's brilliant. I think he's absolutely class. I would like to see... I can't pronounce his name. I know the West Ham player. Yeah, potentially Alfie. Not sure that one would happen. All over the Saints Twitter, so I'm missing that at the moment. This Matt O'Reilly story is breaking, so it's all about Matt O'Reilly. I'm going to take a little look before the stream ends. I'm coming to the end now of the show tonight. Thank you all for joining me. I will look to do this a little bit more regularly here on YouTube. I've got more subscribers now, but Southampton are lining up a record offer for Matt O'Reilly. They want £25 million for him to Celtic. Atlanta are continuing talks and are ready to return with an increased fee for him because their offer today got rejected, or their offer over the weekend. So, looks like it could happen. So his stats for last season, this is from Saints Statistics. He scored 18 goals. He got 13 assists. He had 109 shots. His pass accuracy is 83%. His long ball accuracy is 66%. He created 93 chances as well. He won 30 fouls, 1 penalty. He won 172 of his duels, 208 recoveries, and he won possession in the final third 33 times. And he had 19 interceptions as well. Depossessed 50 times is probably his weakest point. But I tell you what, he's a really good player. Somebody I'd love to see. So that's kind of like the big story that's all over Twitter right now, is all over this man. So thank you, Ethan, for that. We can't sell Sekou, says Seku's tuning in. Great conversation, guys. Keep it going. I'm not going to be here that much longer. Do you think our academy graduates, Magatoma, Gomez and Doyle, have peaked at the wrong time? No. I just think the club was in the wrong place at the wrong time, potentially struggling, getting relegated, being in the Championship, desperate to get back, needing everything you can to get back. Yeah, I think it was I think it was really tough. I think it's a tough time. And then, and then next season we'll be fighting to stay in the league. So when's the right time to blood these people? If they're good enough, I'd have them involved, but I'm not the manager. If we do get O'Reilly, I'd like to get, if we don't get O'Reilly going for Smith Rowe, bit of talk that he'd go out on loan, isn't there? How good is this O'Reilly, says Troy. Supposed to be very, very good. Highly, highly thought of. Oxlade-Chamberlain. I do have an update on Oxlade-Chamberlain, actually. I spoke to a couple of people the other night. Apparently he's keen on a move. I think the wages are probably too high at this moment in time. That's probably why it's not happening. I think Saints would probably be open to it if the wages weren't outrageous. Southampton are in talks to try and secure a deal for Raziak. Saints ideally want to take the winger on loan. Yeah, that's what I thought as well from what I heard. An option to buy. Palace would only consider a permanent deal on that one. It's been going around for a little while. We were interested in January in Radzaki, but I think he was at Charlton before. He was really, really good. Heard Palace want to sell Edouard. Unsure, but there are many strikers out there. Yeah, it's a realistic one, isn't it? That is realistic. Very, very realistic. Totally agree. Diblin was great against Watford in the FA Cup game. Made good runs, dribbles against... Yeah, he is a gem. He's going to be a gem. Let's just hope he doesn't go anywhere, because he is absolutely class. Right, Alfie, this is good. I want everyone to get involved in this as well. Where do you think Saints will finish this season? I'm thinking 17th to 15th. Well, Alfie Downer, I would take any of that. As long as we stay up, mate, I'll be absolutely delighted. Dominic Solanke would be a very, very good signing. Don't see it happening, but he would be very, very good. Yeah, so I only remember that we have a winger that's coming to us in January as well. Yeah, is that Wellington? They were speaking about Wellington. I'm not sure where he plays. I don't know loads about him. I've not really, until someone signs, I start to dig into the player a bit more. But I just think the Matt O'Reilly one is the one to be watching at this moment in time. I think that one looks like it could happen. Right, guys, final couple of minutes of the live show before I head off this evening. Thank you all for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Keep an eye on my TikTok channel. I've joined up with SFC Vlogs. We've got a joint fantasy league. I've got one that I do with my family and friends as well. I'm going to let you open that up to you guys to join as well, but please join by your username. So if you get involved in either of the fantasy leagues, please put the codes will go out on my TikTok today so you can get involved. Chris, that's a good shout. He's injured at the moment, I got told. Callum Wilson, but imagine the strike force of Wilson and Stewart made of crisps. Yeah, you're spot on. Absolutely spot on. But yeah, Wilson's injured. I reckon he missed the first game of the season. Can I join a league? Of course you can. It's open to anyone to join both the leagues. You could join my friends and family one, and you can also join me and Ethan's one as well. I wish we signed Messi as well. That would be really, really nice. Right, guys, thank you very much for joining me for the transfer show this Monday evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. Keep an eye on all the breaking news over on TikTok. I post them really regularly, and anything that breaks will go on there. Any really good sources I get of stories, I'll pop it on there as well. So keep tuned. Guys, thank you very, very much for joining me on my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. You'll be notified of any lives I do, and I'll be doing match day content next season as well. The fan cam will be back. There'll be competitions. There's opportunities to win prizes galore next season on my channel. So you just need to make sure you're involved. Make sure you're following the TikTok channel because they're going to be giving away all sorts of bits throughout the season. Guys, take care. Thank you very much for the support as always. It's been a pleasure coming on this live this evening. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and thank you all very much indeed.